afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Monday, April 14th, and you know what that means. It's time for the High Risk Wrestling Recap. I am your host, Jeremy Pierce. We are finally on that last stretch of the road to WrestleMania. Check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. And without further ado, let's get into the news. The Money in the Bank location looks like we have it. It will be going down this year in LA at the Intuit Dome. That is where the Clippers stay. Do we have a date? I don't think we have a date just yet, but it's going to be slated for sometime in early June. Mina Shirakawa, well, she is all elite. We got to get her on TV. We gotta wait for the full package, but she's pretty much coming to AEW after spending many years in Stardom. Vince McMahon and WWE are filing an injunction to get the Ring Boy scandal dismissed. I hope it is not dismissed. I want Vince McMahon to suffer. And WWE has had eternal talks about the lack of black representation at premium live events, but of course they've taken no real action. This is mainly going down on the main roster. SRS has talked about and reported that they have seen the script for shows and they've seen the content and hear what people say, but ultimately haven't made a change. If you compare what Dynasty just had, they had, I believe, like 12 to 13 black wrestlers on the entire show, including the pre-show. If you look at WrestleMania, how many? 2? 3? I think off the top of my head, is just not a good look. Kelly has signed a Legends deal. Yes, she is Kelly. She is considered a legend, but here she is back in the WWE. We have an update on Camille after her attack and sudden disappearance, and there's no update. She's not being used. She came in, she had a kind of a bad match, and that was it. She was written off of TV. Hopefully they can find a way to use her. Maybe get a few more reps. Send her to Japan, because as you can clearly see, Megan Bayne is absolutely killing it, but she is still under contract. The schedule, the dates for WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2 have been announced. So on Night 1, the card, we have the triple threat match with Roman, Punk, and Rollins, Jay versus Naomi, Raw Tag Team Championship, Rey Mysterio versus Grande Americano, United States Championship, WWE Women's Championship, and the World Heavyweight Championship on Sunday. We've got the Women's Tag Team title match, the street fight between Priest and Drew, the Fatal 4 for the IC title, Logan Paul, AJ Styles, the triple threat for the Women's Raw, for the Women's World Championship, and Cody Cena. I guess this is fine. I don't like there being 6 matches on Sunday. Like, this is your biggest show, and somehow, some way, you couldn't figure out how to get Chelsea Green a match. You couldn't get Lyra Valkyria a separate match, and the women's titles, a tag team title, is a separate match. This is a failure once again on the WWE's part. But come back this Friday for the High Risk Wrestling Podcast as we preview WrestleMania. And the TNA Wrestling Star is officially part of the company. Part of with the company that is none other than Rich Swann. He's going through his struggles right now. He is married to Sue Young. Hopefully he gets his things together and we will see him back. Tony Khan has introduced the Ring of Honor Women's Pure Championship. This makes the 3rd Women's Championship in Ring of Honor, including the Ring of Honor Women's Championship and the TV Championship. The Pure Championship is all about fairness, clear rules, technical wrestling. I don't know if this is good news or great news, but it gives the women something else to do. A famous classic tag team are reuniting at an independent event. That would be none other than Jessica Kay and Cassie Lee. The Iconics will be reuniting. Finally, I need them back on my screen. Also on that show will be Cedric Alexander, Matt Cardona, Mustafa Ali, and Tony Storm. This is at the Combat Clash 2025 going down in Portland, Oregon. On the injury side of things, Buddy Matthews reveals his recovery status, and he's doing well after that ankle injury. He's just working on getting better, getting healthy. He is walking again. Same thing with Sky Blue. She is walking after her bad ankle injury On AEW Star has had his neck soldier surgery. That was Peter Avalon. He had soldier surgery last week. Pac got injured during Dynamite this past week. We will get a full extent of injury, but it's so much to the point where Moxley has to step in, and KO has had his neck surgery. But that is the news, and we shall be right back with the week in review. Monday Night Raw. We are getting closer and closer to WrestleMania. We start off the show with Adam Pearce, who apologizes for putting Bianca in that spot to be the guest referee. And Bianca is pissed. Well, that Rhea is now being added to the match. So it is now a triple threat match at WrestleMania for the Women's World Championship. And once again, Bianca and Rhea disrespect Io. So she drops both of them with the drop kick. This will not stand. The only way for this match to end is with Io Sky winning. Liv Morgan tries to cheer up the group because, Finn and Dom are both in the IC title match, and it doesn't matter who wins because the belt's coming back to the Judgment Day. I'll tell you who I think goes win on this week's Irish Wrestling Podcast. Lyra Valkyria defeats Bayley to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Bayley then refuses to shake her hand, but then gives her a hug, and guess what? They'll be in a tag team gauntlet this coming Friday, this past Friday, to find out who the number one contenders are for the Women's Tag Team Championships. I had some thoughts about that. Chad Gable interrupts Bert Kreischer, the comedian, interview, and Bert ends up greeting Otis. The Creeds and El Grande Americano defeats the LWO after El Grande hits a diving headbutt with a loaded face mask, thanks to one Ivy. Now Jey Uso gives Gunther the business on the mic, saying, listen, first things first, Jey came out, no yeeting. He tries to get the crowd to stop eating. For the most part, they do. And he tells Gunther, I was scared of you. I had to explain to my mother what happened to Jimmy. I was scared of you. It's a beautiful, beautiful segment. Go check it out. Rey Uso wants El Grande at WrestleMania. He will get him. The New Day beat the Warriors by DQ. They end up attacking Eric's neck after the match. He tries doing the same to Ivar before security stops them. Penta beats Dom. Braun hit Dom after the match. He hit Dom with the spear, and he hit Penta with the spear, but Finn laid out Braun with a 1914 DDT before he escapes. And in the main event segment, Seth explains to Heyman, hey, where was Roman when you were left with Solo and that bloodline? He wasn't there for you. He doesn't care about you. And Punk left. He didn't take you with him, and he actively tried to destroy the WWE. They don't care about you. So let me help you. Let me put you out of your misery. One curb stomp is all it takes. CM Punk comes out to attack Seth. Seth ends up hitting Punk with the curb stomp, and then as Heyman is checking in on Punk, Seth fakes hitting a curb stomp on Heyman and says, now you owe me a favor. Woo! I know a lot of people that didn't like it. I very much enjoyed it. Over on Dynamite, this was the Dynasty Fallout show. We opened up with Mox telling the Bucks to be careful about making any moves because you just showed up and the board has changed. Mox ended up defeating Shibata. He leaves once the Bucks arrive. The Bucks said they got involved to help their friend Heyman because they don't want. You said you don't want Swerve winning a championship, and he wants to team with the Riders because imagine what they can do with the Death Riders and the Elite. Kenny Omega comes out, remembers the last time he was in the ring with the Bucks and the Elite, and they put him out on the shelf. And he's like, you know what? You guys are trying to destroy AEW. You don't really care. I'm just going to fight you. Okada comes out, and then Swerve comes out to fight them off. Listen, everybody, we are in the middle of Anarchy in the Arena and Blood and Guts season. It's going to happen. Pac ended up attacking Swerve, but Swerve still won. He says this is Buck hunting season. We had the 400K tag team promos. It's really, really good stuff. funny stuff, especially from Mark Briscoe. Hangman tells Prince Nana that he wasn't trying to help Swerve and doesn't accept Prince Nana's apology. Speedball Mike Bayley, Will Ospreay, Kevin Knight, and Mark Briscoe defeated Crew, Beast Mortos, and Ricochet to win the $400,000. So now Mark Briscoe can diversify his portfolio. FTR will explain themselves on Collision. MVP tells MJF that he needs 3 thumbs up to join the syndicate. Because, MJF is like, I helped y'all retain. And, Lashley doesn't like MJF. And he doesn't get the 3 thumbs. Megan Bain says she will make Toni Storm bow down. She's not done with her. Kris Statlander to beat Thunder Rosa to advance in the Owen Hart Cup. This was a great match. Don Callis has now stepped the application, seeing as how Brian Cage is hurt and Trent is still out. Let's see who else joins the family. We had TV time with Chris Jericho, and he essentially tells Keith and Big Bill that he's just disappointed in them. He destroys his little TV and leaves. MVP backstage tells MJF that he needs to give Lashley and show them what they want. They're businessmen. Do business with them. And in the main event, the Ops defeated the Death Riders, the team of it was Joe and Hook taking on Claudio and Yuta. They won that match. Joe runs the Riders off and makes a challenge for the Trios Championships. Over on Impact, Joe Hendry has some challengers waiting for him. Ethan Page says he's back to beat Joe Hendry, and Cass says he is only here because you kissed Santino's ass. I'm still calling my shot. Eric Young offers us help to Steve Macklin for his match later, who declines. Ace Austin defeated Ali by DQ. Santana made the save, and he drove off with John Skyler in the vehicle. Moose defeated Cody Dean, and the Rascals made the save after the match, and the system then went on to beat the Rascals. Okay, I see what we're doing here. AJ Francis beat Mance Warner and Sami Callihan to advance in the new international championship. Callihan wants Mance Warner in a barbed wire massacre. He's going to get that. Leon Slater defeated Ryan Neiman. Santana almost tortured Skyler and says, listen, your boy, he ain't coming to save you, but I'm coming for him. Eddie Edwards defeated Steve Macklin after the match. After Eddie used a weapon during the match. Joe Hendry is injured, but he's advised not to compete, but he will defend the championship against Ethan Page and Frankie Kazarian. And it was announced that Cass and Tessa Blanchard will face Hendry and Masha Slamovich at Unbreakable. Over on SmackDown, it was a solid show, but this is a stain for the woman. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Nick Aldis tells Randy Orton that he'll pay for last week. Randy said, listen, remember the last time I RKO'd you? I paid double for a future RKO. So there's that, but you don't want to know what's going to happen if I don't get my Mania match. Mickey won't be having Mickey James. Solo Sikoa and Tama come out. Tell Orton, listen, just go away. Your time is up. You're over. Knight makes the save. We're going to get a tag match later. Even Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, makeshift team, ran the gauntlet. They started as the first 2 teams, and they defeated Pure Future Collective, Natalya and Maxine Dupree, Katana, Chance, Caden Carter, Michin and B-Fab, and the Secret Herbers to earn a shot against Liv and Raquel for the Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania. I liked this match a lot. I hated this match because, one, they defeated, mostly makeshift teams. They defeated a bona fide team with Katana and Caden, and the Women's Intercontinental Championship is not being defended at WrestleMania. That doesn't make any sense to me. Not only that, women from NXT weren't featured in this match. Doesn't make sense to me. Drew McIntyre is cleared, and then he drops Damian Priest with the Future Shock DDT on the steel steps. DIY thinks there's a conspiracy against them, and Motor City Machine Guns is like, nah. And they'll get their title match against the Street Profits on SmackDown before WrestleMania. Rey Fenix defeated Berto. Escobar wants Berto to show some respect, shake hands, and Andrade wants to know, to Berto, what's up with your mans, though? Roxanne Perez challenges Tiffany Stratton. We'll get that match later. Zelina Vega also challenges Tiffany Stratton. Challenges Chelsea Green, and Chelsea doesn't have the Secret Herbers with her, and guess what? Zelina won by count. This was a mix-up, but it makes sense. It's fine. It actually worked in the contents of Chelsea Green. Jade Cargill is told to proceed with caution by Naomi, and Jade tells Naomi, and these are both video package, that a storm is coming for her. Cody is confident he had this. He was in the ring with all the multiple versions of the WWE Championship, which was beautiful, and it's staying here. Cena's not getting it. Mello Don't Miz want the smoke from the Profits. Tiffany Stratton defeated Roxanne Perez in a very solid match. Charlotte Flair attacked Tiffany Stratton after the match. He also attacked her before the show in the parking lot. Wade Barrett stopped Charlotte from going any further. And in the main event, Randy Orton and LA Knight defeated Solo Sikoa and Tonga. Jacob Fatu attacked LA Knight after the match, laying him out with 3 moonsaults. Over on Collision, this show gets a fist. This was also the Dynasty Fallout show. So we open up being told that Mox will sub for Pac in the Trios Championship match at Spring Breakthrough. And here's the thing. Why is Mox allowed to step in, but Jay White couldn't step in when Juice got hurt? If the Trios Championships are held by a faction, there should be a freebird rule. They've really got to explain this. FTR explained themselves, and they're saying they sacrificed themselves for Copeland, who really only cares about himself, and he put himself above them. They're supposed to be friends, they're supposed to be family, and they keep suffering and losing because of him. So they take him out. They then get Tony Schiavone to come into the ring, much to Nigel McGuinness' dismay. They wanted to know, yo, Tony, what did you say about us on commentary? And Tony was like, listen, I know you guys, but how would you do it for? Well, they went to attack Tony. Nigel McGuinness got off the commentary desk to step in for Tony. Daniel Garcia came out to make the save. Tony Storm runs down the women's division, and it was just absolutely hilarious. Tony Storm is awesome. The AEW women's division is awesome. Women's wrestling is awesome. Jamie Hayter defeated Billie Starkz to advance to the Owen. This was a fantastic match. Boy, go watch this drawing. Death Riders accept Samoa Joe's challenge, even though we were told earlier in the evening that the match was happening. The Gates of Agony win a squash match, and now they want to hurt people, so they're getting a tag team title match at Spring Breakthrough. Matt Menard and Angelo Parker challenged FTR, saying, yo, you leave Daniel Garcia alone. Anthony Bowens defeated Blake Christian. Megan Bain won a handicap squash match. Kevin Knight defeated AR Fox. FTR ran through 2.0. They then spiked Garcia 3 times and hit referee Mike Posey. The Paragon came out to make the save. Athena defeated Harley Cameron to advance to the Owen. So we will have Athena versus Mercedes Moné in the semifinals of the Owen. Takeshita defeated Brody King to advance to the Owen. This was a fantastic meat hoss matchup. It was awesome. Our matches of the week from Raw. Check out Lyra Valkyria versus Bayley for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. From Dynamite, Kris Statlander versus Thunder Rosa in the Owen Hart Cup quarterfinal match. That was excellent. For Smackdown, the Women's Tag Team Championship Gauntlet. That was also really, really good. Much as I hated the ending and how everything went down. From New Japan Sakura Genesis, Konosuke Takeshita versus Ryohei for the Never Openweight Championship. And from that same show, Hirooki Goto defending the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship against David Finlay. And from Collision, Jamie Hayter versus Billie Starkz in the Owen quarterfinal match. Also from Collision, that awesome hoss fight between Brody King and Konosuke Takeshita, part of the Owen Hart Cup. And our star of the week, well, I'm going to give it to Bayley and Lyra Valkyria for running the gauntlet. Yeah, I'm kind of biased because I love Bayley, but that is our show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Look what we got on the screen coming up. What's going to go down for the rest of the week. And Friday, High Risk Wrestling Podcast, our WrestleMania 41 preview. That's our show. I'll see you when I see you. Peace.